welcome to Young Kizzy, the one YouTube channel. If this is your first time on my YouTube channel, please subscribe to my YouTube channel by clicking on the red subscribe button down below and turn on the bell icon. Tell me what you think about this video in the comment section.
Fellow Zambian citizens, it is with a heavy heart to address the developments at the University of Zambia, Great East Campus. Last evening, I'm sure many of you are already aware, we lost one of our students, a young man named Binwell Mpundu, who on his way from studies last evening fell in one of the trenches that have been excavated by the Zambia National Service, who are on campus attending to the sanitation situation. For some time now, I have consistently highlighted the problem of sanitation at the University of Zambia. And many of you, particularly those of our friends who are serving in government, have ignored my calls for urgent attention to this situation. And oftentimes, I have been labeled simply as a critic and a noisemaker. I have made several calls for urgent attention regarding many other situations confronting students in many higher learning institutions. Sadly, our friends continue to label me simply as a critic. Today, I choose not to do politics, and therefore I choose not to blame anyone for this unfortunate tragedy that has confronted us at the University of Zambia. Today, I have chosen to provide leadership. And therefore, I am making a demand to His Excellency President Hakainde Hichilema. And the reason why I am making this demand on him is because it has become very clear that President Hakainde Hichilema is a lone wolf, because the people that should have been attending to these problems are very busy singing Sotsana and Kwenyus. How else do we explain how the situation at UNZA could have been allowed to get as worse as it is now? For those who cares to know, we are not only dealing with dilapidated infrastructure at UNZA, we are also dealing with a health challenge, because reports have it that the water at the University of Zambia is not safe for drinking. Already reports have emerged that they could actually be decently at the University of Zambia. And I've seen messages circulating urging students not to drink the water at the institution. I'm now here at pain to understand how most of those students are going to afford going out to buy water, when many students are barely surviving with the so-called meal allowances. My memory is still very alive to a time when I served as district commissioner for Kitwe, when one of our institutions in Kitwe, namely ZIPZIP, had a similar challenge as what is happening at UNZA, dilapidated sanitary infrastructure. I remember rehearsing very quickly with then Minister of Education, and in no time, the Zambia National Service were at hand to renovate the sanitary dilapidation at ZIPZIP then. But what I remember also is that during that time of renovations, the school had to be temporarily closed to allow for the works to be done. It is in that spirit that I make this demand and a call to the president that the University of Zambia must be closed. Because how else do we guarantee the safety of our students when these works are going on and more trenches are going to be excavated? How else do we guarantee the safety of our young people who are obviously going to be tempted to continue drinking the water that is said to have decently? Because I know many cannot afford to go out buying water. It is only prudent and fair to demand that the school be temporarily closed to allow for authorities to attend to these challenges that have emerged at this important institution. The lesson we draw, however, fellow citizens, is that those placed with the responsibility to provide leadership must not be interested in pursuing clout or chasing clout, as they say. Those vested with the responsibility to provide leadership, particularly those who are handling the affairs of the president, must not be interested in only parading students to sing praise to His Excellency the President so as to create a narrative that he is popular, but must also be interested in the welfare of these students. It therefore means that those in authority must consistently check the situation in these higher learning institutions and ensure that what needs to be attended to is swiftly attended to avoid what has happened, the tragedy that has happened at the University of Zambia. I don't believe that government needs to move when students riot. I don't believe in this day and age that government should only be pushed to swiftly act when there's a loss of life. I believe that we must not be firefighters, but we must act beforehand or before any tragedy happens, particularly when it comes to institutions where there are so many young people living in one space. I want to end by calling for calm among the students at the University of Zambia. I know your hearts are bleeding. I know you are at pains to explain or to navigate around the loss of one of your brothers who has been described as a peaceful, hardworking young man. I do believe in my heart of hearts that the solution does not lie in creating chaos vis-a-vis going to the streets, because such actions would cause more harm than good. I want to believe that through this call, responsible individuals or people are going to act and act right to avoid more troubles at the University of Zambia. Going forward, I want to believe that all of us will begin to respect each other, particularly that some of us who stands on the other side of the divide, the opposition, have a mandate to help those of us who are on the other side of the divide with executive powers to provide leadership over the affairs of the country by highlighting problems that needs urgent attention. And so I am believing that from now onwards, we will treat each other as partners in development, not as enemies. May God bless our students at UNZA. May the soul of our beloved brother, Emmanuel Bwalia, rest in peace. As I send my condolences to the family of Emmanuel and to the entire family of the University of Zambia. May God bless our country, Mother Zambia, and may God give us wisdom to navigate around this tragedy and act right. Thank you very much.
Kizzy, the one.